What's up, y'all? It's Harrison. I'm doing another check in. It's October 21st. Um, I, hold on, let me get the KPI tracker. I guess today I've been, working, yesterday, well, okay, I guess I spoke to, I did some reflection. And yesterday I didn't do, uh, too much essentially because I was kind of burnt. um, I realized, after I woke up the next day, I was like, what the fuck am I talking about? About this 26-hour, 26-hour cycle. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna get a haircut, so I won't be looking stupid anymore tomorrow. I look especially silly with headphones on, but I guess I've been going through a lot of like definitely. I don't want to say anxiety or like let's say like mood swings in terms of like highs and lows. I'll say it like neuroses. So yeah. By the way, I didn't do too much yesterday, essentially. Um, but I guess like so. As I said before, the stuff that I'm doing right now is very competitive of an industry, and it always feels like, I guess like I'm not going fast enough. I sort of spoke with one of my friends who's at the forefront of one of these really large firms that is building some of the infra of the things I'm doing. And she was basically just like super gung ho about how fast they need to build. And I got riled up about that in terms of like, oh, fiery about building stuff. But also, like, what I was saying before is like the next day it felt a little unsustainable. And I also sort of had a come down, I guess, where I was feeling really negatively um, anxious and unconfident about the future prospects of what I'm building because I'm being quite hard on myself. And I guess yeah, after a few hours of that and like that sort of paralyzing me a bit um, and feeling pretty shitty, um, I don't know. Uh, I think I probably need to go like sit down and meditate or something because essentially this like up and down sort of like went away, and now today uh, I'm feeling much better. Just because the cycle's done, the 24-hour cycle of panic or like internal mini spiral is done. But also, I think the thing that I need to ground, I need to get like a fucking poster or something and post it above where I sit at my desk. Is that it is a marathon, not a sprint. Um, I think that is always the thing that I need to particularly internalize, just because, yes, I felt bad, but as long as I consistently put in work every day, I should be able to, make something good and still feel confident about myself as I continue to put in the work. So yeah, that was a huge ramble. Essentially, I felt bad yesterday. I felt very unconfident. Um, but this isn't a unique phenomenon for me. And I think the thing that always recovers me is after a few hours, I realize it's always a marathon, not a sprint. Um, this particular pattern of the way I'm thinking is something that happens reasonably frequently, like maybe once every couple weeks or so, and it probably shouldn't because it distracts me from what I could be doing um, and makes me less efficient. So that's basically it. Um, I wanted to come on here and talk about that just because I need to organize my thoughts, obviously. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I would say this the neurotic emotional swings are definitely I probably feel them I guess more intensely than the average person. Maybe not super intensely. Like I don't have like particular mental illness. Um, but I think I'm maladapted to handling them, and I'm more prone to feeling them, especially if feels like there's negative external stimuli, such as, I don't even think my friend is like, trying to say it in that way. I think she is just saying it's super urgent, and I agree, it's so fucking urgent. I need to be way faster. I can't believe I spent like a month, you know, messing around interviewing and stuff when I should be just like really grinding on this. Um, but yeah, I think like I do feel it probably pretty intensely, and I think that leads on to a bunch of negative self um, talk, or hopelessness, feelings of hopelessness in situations that really aren't that bad. Because again, I have accomplished a lot um, in my life, and I also do have base level internal self confidence. Um, but viewing my particular situation right now, there's always things that are super imperfect and very far from it, actually, that I think I just need to get over the hump, particularly myself, with just a pure testament of willpower to get stuff done. And that, you know, obviously is a super daunting task when you step back and you look at it from like a bird's eye perspective. But that's what I signed up for. And always, if I take like 10 minutes and think about it rationally about how I'm currently approaching work, um, and how I'm currently, you know, um, my current productivity levels, etc., I am always calmed by thinking about it's a marathon, not a sprint, and thinking about the things that I can do and can get done within particular times parts of time frames when I'm motivated in a positively affected like mental state versus negative. And so, yeah, I guess this is a cycle that I definitely need to um, improve. That it happens less and less. It really shouldn't happen at all. Again, I think I've previously talked about how I have a few friends and have ex coworkers that are just absolute machines, and they're so mentally like stable. I don't want to stay stable is the wrong word. Like their level of like happiness or satisfaction or dissatisfaction in what they're doing. Obviously, they have like micro levels of like flashes of like if they're frustrated or if they're angry or something, but that doesn't negatively affect, I guess, their output on those day-to-day fluctuations, compared to like obviously if they have like some sort of personal tragedy or anything, that's a different story. But I mean just generally the day-to-day stuff. And I think I don't even think it's like a fact that they're blocking stuff out, or yeah, I don't think they're blocking stuff out. I don't think they're like just internally like just like not aware of things, and then they just shove that in a corner of their brain somewhere to deal with later. But whatever they do, I wish I had that superpower. Um, my brain definitely wanders, and if there's something, so for example, like there was something I had to do the other day, which is like go to the pharmacy essentially, and it was basically nagging on me for like 20 minutes, and I knew it was just going to continue nagging on me until I did just go to the pharmacy. And so I went, but that bias, like that sort of like thinking about it, is something that I need to just stop, because it creates these cycles of like going in circles about, oh, it's it's so over, we're so back, etc. And it really should just always be it's a marathon, not a sprint. Maybe I'll just like fucking like maybe I'll just like, so I do have something on my phone background. I know it's so fucking cheesy. Um it's about like, calling to action about if you're tired, just fucking do it tired. Um it is still a bias to action, but I actually think the more helpful phrase to me is it's a marathon, not a sprint, because really I don't think I'm bad at just going and doing something. I think it's more, at least when I'm in the right mental state, I think it's more uh, specifically on the side of, okay, well, I can frequently, more frequent than the average person, get in the wrong mental state. And when that happens, then I am truly much less effective than I would be. One of my previous managers said this. Well, he didn't say this to me directly. He was such a nice fucking guy. But the manager I moved under after him told me that after he spoke to that manager about their perception of me, it was more like the most important thing that I could work on is resilience. And I thought back in the day, back when I got that feedback, I was like, well, I mean, I don't think I was ever like, oh no, no way, in denial about that, because I've always known I've had this like sort of like mental it's so over, we're so back cycle. Um, but as I continue reflecting on this, um, all I can really say is that wow, I can't believe how right he was, and I'm glad to have worked with that manager. Um, and I guess it's been a long time actually. Wow, looking back in it, it's been like a year and a half since I worked with him. And I probably worked with him for about a year or so, maybe a little less than a year. But wow, time really fucking flies. And I guess the personal development here, I don't know. Well, I got something to think about. Yeah. Anyways, um, that was what I had to say. I was doing some work. I was thinking about this. I was like, okay, let me just record this now and then get back to work, because I do feel like I'm in a correct mental state today. It is always a marathon, not a sprint, and that is the grounding truth of it all that I need to just deeply, deeply internalize, I guess. So, yep, that's it today. Tomorrow, I, let's just say every single time I do one of these, I'll open with it's a marathon, not a sprint, and then make sure I get that really tacked into my brain. Okay, that's all for today. See ya.